than me, Coach, because you lived through it. You're older than me, more experienced than me. You've seen it firsthand. So when I think about, let's say, for example, a Herm Edwards and whatever obstacles you endured, I can read about it, I can hear about it, but you lived it. And I think it's a testament to your greatness, to the greatness of Tony Dungy, to the greatness of all of those who came. By the way, just because they're in the media now, I wasn't good enough to be a professional athlete, okay? You guys were. But you're doing what I do now. If it weren't for y'all and what y'all had to endure, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's Black History Month. We got Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we got Malcolm X, we got a host of others. And doing what they did enabled us to be sitting here today. To me, I love the fact that we get to highlight this is an aberration. And you know why it's an aberration? Because this is what was done to us. Because we got a host of people in America that want us to forget history. We got a situation going on in Florida right now where you got the governor opposing African-American studies. It's more complicated than that. I'm not trying to simplify it, but that's the bottom line. And when you have stuff like that going on, and then all of a sudden you fast forward to here and now with two African-American quarterbacks, what we're doing is utilizing them to illuminate a heinous, insidious, disgusting part of our history that marginalized, that pigeonholed, and flat out denied folks the opportunity to ever be in this position. But because of people like you, Coach, and Tony Dungy, and those who came before you, because of that collective effort is why we're sitting here today. So I'm not one of those people that says, well, you know what? Hey, I wish we didn't have to sit here in the year 2023 and not bring up that it's two black quarterbacks. Hell yes, I'm bringing it up. Because guess what? They're a testament to the greatness that existed before them that America tried to ignore and denied, but couldn't pull it off. That's me. That's where I'm coming from.
Stephen A., you make some great points, and I'm not disappointed. It's more of I reflect on my career coming in and listening to some veteran players bring me to a side and said, look, I want you to look at something, young guy. And I'm a young guy, and I'm trying to look. He says, just remember this. Right now in the National Football League, the middle, either on offense or defense, players don't look like us. But where's the middle? Quarterback. I gave you one better than that. Offensive centers, middle linebackers, safeties, right? Because why? Leadership positions have to make decisions. And at that point, there were a lot of older coaches in the league that's what they believed in. Now there's this new culture of coaches that have come in. And collectively, you see the game changing. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Because that is football. That is sports. Sports is based on this. You throw the ball out there and let guys compete. You don't worry about the color of their skin, where they grew up. It's just let them compete, play the best players. We're getting to a place now where that is being seen.
And that's what I love about it, right? Because you understand that it's
like that.
Yeah. And what I like about it, I mean, we only have to go back as recent as Lamar Jackson and people trying to ask him to run the 40 and work out at the wide receiver position. So that stereotype still exists. Mm-hmm. And it exists mostly about the mobile quarterback. That's why I'm saying the importance of Jalen Hurts is really important, right? It was important for Russell Wilson to win the Super Bowl because it was the narrative that you had to be 6'5" to sit in the pocket. You couldn't be a short quarterback. You know, Steve McNair was the first one to kind of change that narrative, right? So we're breaking stereotypes every day. And we haven't gotten there as fast as I would like, right? But I think that we're moving in that direction. And I just love the fact that we get to have two different types of quarterbacks because too often they put all African-American quarterbacks into the same category. Like I said, Charlie Batch was the most unathletic black man I've ever seen in my life. But he still was a great quarterback, right? So you don't have to be a guy, because what happens is they get a quarterback and they expect him to do things that the other black quarterback does. I like the fact that we have guys that are going to represent two different types of styles. A guy that's effective from the pocket, but a guy that's capable of putting up 120, 180 yards rushing in this game. Because then that's going to make sure that guys that are in colleges don't tell that player to move to running back or to move to wide receiver. He's going to say, we can win championships with a quarterback like this. That's why I'm saying it's so important that Jalen Hurts plays well. I don't know how the game's going to end up because he's going against a bad man when you talk about Patrick Mahomes. But it's important that he represents that style of quarterback.
I feel you. But what I'm saying to you, Bart, even more important than that is what you just illustrated and highlighted about Lamar Jackson. Because what everybody needs to understand is that you have to bring that up to point out the fact that the instinct to marginalize and pigeonhole and minimize still exists in the year 2023. And so because of that, just imagine how it was in years past. Imagine for every Lamar Jackson, how many potential Lamar Jacksons were out there that were denied the opportunity to showcase their abilities and their talents. The Warren Moons of the world, the Donovan McNabbs of the world, the Doug Williams of the world, the Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts of the world today. Imagine how many more of those folks were denied those opportunities. And so for me, the opportunity to sit here and for you to have an historical branch to lean on, to highlight how significant this is, that is the beauty of it. That's why I'm saying to y'all, don't ever be discouraged at the fact that you have to highlight these inequities, this unfairness. Okay, don't ever be shy about it, and don't ever be, you could be upset that it is what it is, or it's been what it's been, but don't ever be upset at the opportunity to highlight the unfairness. Because when we highlight the unfairness, we're doing justice and giving a voice to those who were voiceless while being pigeonholed and marginalized and denied the opportunity to showcase their...
How much team success did they have? And I heavily emphasize the peak because I believe that's not everything, but it's a big part of what we're talking about when we talk about the greatest. It's not just how many seasons toward the end did they add on when they were still good, but like what heights did they reach and how long did they sustain those heights? And what I'm saying, Key, is throw out the stats because Mahomes slaughters Elway. It's not fair, but as I say, it's not fair. Let's compare era to era. Mahomes in 5 seasons as a starter is about to go to his 3rd Super Bowl, is about to win his 2nd MVP, and we will see what happens in the Super Bowl, but already has a Super Bowl championship. Elway, in 16 seasons, won 1 MVP, came in 2nd once, came in 4th once, came in 5th once. Okay, those are all his top 5 MVPs finishes. Mahomes is about to win his 2nd MVP. He's also been a top 3 times already. In his first 5 years, Mahomes' height is higher than Elway's height, who won the Super Bowl at the end when he was still good. He was Elway. He was always good. But he wasn't the great John Elway the same way he was early in his career. He got a running back, and they won behind that, largely. Key.
Oh, so you're telling me the helicopter didn't mean nothing against Green Bay?
No, I'm not. I just said he was still
because
good.
he got a running back. He got a running back that helped the offense engineer drives.
How many years did it take Elway to get to 2 Super Bowl wins? 16. Mahomes had the chance to do it in his 5th season as a starter.
God dang, and he may never win another and may never go to another.
It's possible he doesn't, but the concentration of excellence in Mahomes' prime already surpasses the concentration of excellence in Elway's prime.
Is Dan Reeves Andy Reid?
Is he Andy Reid? What do you mean? He's a great coach?
No, is he Andy Reid as a coach? Would you consider the late Dan Reeves as a...
I would put Andy Reid ahead of him.
Okay, all right. So coaching does matter sometimes too, right?
Of course.
Okay, I'm asking you.
But no one's arguing against Elway's greatness. Elway's a great quarterback.
You. So when you look at when he acquired or when he coached with Dan Reeves, so to speak, that's a different conversation because Andy Reid may decide to abruptly retire in 2 years, and then he's stuck with Matt Nagy.
It's possible.
So
we have to see that play out.
But
you're saying I'm being premature in my evaluation. What I'm saying is...
I am saying absolutely you are being premature.
Apples to apples, how are they even perceived in their own era? every single year.
I bet you
Mahomes is a top MVP candidate. He's leading and also he is higher in the hierarchy in his era than Elway wasn't his.
I just got a text from somebody. Tom Jackson says, get this dude brain checked.
About Patrick Mahomes?
About John Elway.
I have not said a word this whole segment.
Get this dude brain checked.
About John of it.
So Tom Jackson thinks Elway's better than Mahomes is.
Tom Jackson, call into the show right now. Call into the show, Tom.
Is it too early to put Mahomes in the top?